the Ardu-X 200 pin map explanation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over all the components found on this microcontroller. So this microcontroller has two kinds of pins. They're either digital pins or analog pins. Your digital pins are the pins 8 through 23, and they are the three pins that are sticking out right along the top and bottom of the controller. To call out to these pins, you're going to call them using the blue boxes right over here. So each pin corresponds to a certain number. So these pins right over here correspond to pin 15. Next, these pins can also be a pulse width modulation pin. This board has 6 pulse width modulation pins, and they are found on pins 10, 11, 22, 20, 18, and 16. Pulse width modulation just means you have more freedom of control over how much electricity goes through a certain component. Next, we have analog pins. The analog pins are generally called out through either these numbers right on the side over here or these letters over here. So you can call them A0 or pin 24. I would still call out to that when you're doing your coding. Another thing is your analog pins are generally reserved for sensors. Your digital pins more for physical components that do things such as motors or LEDs, things along those lines. Next, we use standard 3-pin connections for almost all of our components. So you're going to see 3 different pins or wires sticking out, and there will be a black wire, a red wire, and a yellow wire. The black wire is ground wire, the red wire is a voltage wire, and the yellow is a signal wire. These will help you control what components you're using. You also have to pay attention to what letters are over on which pins. That way you can connect them properly. Next, we do have some onboard components that you can program. These will be found right here, 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 and here. These are your dip switches. You can find the programs for them or the pin assignment for them right over here. The start button right over here, which is on pin 6, and this LED pin 5, and then the buzzer on pin 7. If you ever want to use these components, you don't have to plug anything in. You can just call out to them with code. Well, that concludes my explanation for the Ardu-X PinMap. I hope you enjoy coding.